As a film student, I never saw a lecturer that looked like me. All the films that I was shown that were classics and good films, when they had black people, it was often black people in blackface. When they had women, they were often hypersexualized.
What do you think could be done at that sort of like tertiary education stage to really kickstart filmmakers to be aware of these kind of things, producers, writers, direct, like what do you think should be done? Who do you think they could be engaging with, you know?
A lot, but I would argue that it's not the actual filmmakers that need the education, it's the actually faculty in the film schools and universities. And I say this, I say this as somebody who went to a film school, a traditional art college and a traditional university, and who now lectures across film schools and traditional universities. And I am surprised at how much film schools are not interrogated in this diversity conversation. I can assure you that all the institutions that I work at have an EDI policy. In fact, I can't think of any foyer that doesn't have an EDI statement as you walk in. What is different and how that is implemented are the people that work in these spaces. As a film student, I never saw a lecturer that looked like me. All the films that I was shown that were classics and good films, when they had black people, it was often black people in blackface. When they had women, they were often hypersexualized. And so when I became faculty, I was very intentional about making sure students don't have the same experience that I had. But I can also assure you that I face a lot of resistance. You know, in the departments, if you try to change the films that we show, there are lecturers that don't like it. And they have what they consider classics. So I'm very intentional every year about making sure when I choose my viewing texts, they're all from different countries. They're from countries all over the world in different languages. I was very intentional about bringing in different visiting lecturers and mentors, that there's gender diversity, there's racial diversity, there's accent diversity, there's class diversity, there's regional diversity, which is quite important in the UK. But I can also assure you that there's a lot of resistance when I do that, because there's some people who get really upset because it means there are less hours for them to employ their friends, right? There are also black students who struggle with some of the viewing texts, and I speak up about it, but there are also professors, white professors, who don't like it. And even within the classroom, there are minority students that struggle to be accepted by the rest of their colleagues. We also see some of the tutors that come in align very quickly with some of the students over others when they're doing their projects. So like, I have also not been intentional about finding mentors that are really tailored to the students' intention. Because again, you can see them be brilliant students, but when they leave the schools, the ones who get employed first will always be the white men who are British or American. So, and I don't think film schools often recognize the power that they play, because a lot of people also come from the industry where this is normal. So for me, I think I've been quite disappointed that all of the diversity conversation has been attacking the awards, attacking the producers, but actually, I think film schools, that's really the place that needs the disruption.
Cool. We're going to open up to some Q&A right now. Does anybody have a question they wanted to ask? Yeah, I mean, either. Okay, cool. Have we got another mic? If not, I'll just jump down. Another two.
I can borrow your. No, it's more of a reflection and a thank you. And I thank you, Kersti, for saying that inclusion is relevance. And thank you all for sharing so good thoughts. You're really smart and good people. But I have a reflection. And in a way, you a little bit touched upon it, Victoria, because I worked a lot with gender equality. And I got so sick and tired of looking at women as people who lack something to access a structure. And I hear a little bit the same, that we need to give you something so you can get access. And my mantra is, what would happen if people get space and resources? And then the thing that's a little bit hard to say, but when will we address the problem? Because diversity is not a problem. It's an opportunity, as you said, Kersti. But so what is the problem? And of course, when we will start to talk about a white-centered world as a problem without panicking, a grown-up conversation about the problem, I'm really longing for that, and I'm not sure I dare to start it, but I really want that to happen, that we, very calm, dare to talk about that. The white-centered problem. Is that a question? Could be.
Anybody else have a question or statement they would like to make?
Can I answer that quickly? Just because I think, one of the big elephants in the room we don't talk about is this worry about scarcity. And that's why there's, pushback in the US about EDI and all these things, because someone's worried that I'm going to come and take something from you, instead of having the mindset that when more people come around the table, more stuff is produced. There's abundance for everyone, and that, me giving you money so that you do your thing isn't taking from me. And I think that's like a different mindset and a different way to think about things that makes people uncomfortable. And I think that's part of the conversation that you're pointing to that we're not talking about enough.